Hey, Joy.
Hey there.
How's your week going? I think you have some good news.
Yeah, we just closed a internal investor round. It's a we just finished the initial closing. It's a recap round. So kind of recap our Intel capital structure because this market, I think a lot of entrepreneurs out there knows that this market is not really friendly. So there's actually some statistic like later stage startups have a higher chance to fail because how heavy their cap tables are, and then how their previous cap table capital structure looks like. So we actually just did our internal investors actually initialized a new recap to make the cap table really clean and fresh, almost like a new company. So that way that it makes it a lot more friendly for sophisticated investor to invest. I think also in the past we had a couple really top tier, the market top sophisticated VCs want to invest in us, and then kind of uh, but hesitated because our cap table and our cap structure was relatively complex because the company has been around for 6 years now. That
Yeah.
obviously we have decent legacy investors. So we did a clean recap, and which was awesome. We also opened the option pool for new teammates to join because before I'm almost out of option pool. So now it's I'm looking forward to hire some really strong teammates and partner with potentially finish closing with some top VCs um, the next few
Amazing.
months. So
Congratulations. Happy Friday.
I know, happy Friday, and then I look forward to the weekend.
Well, hopefully this will be fun. And everyone who's joining, please comment where you're calling in from, or yeah, congratulations. I think also would be a great comment. So
Thank you.
I'll do a quick intro, and then Joy, you'll do your intro, and then we'll get into any questions, or I'll ask you some questions. So really quickly,
Yeah.
I'm Jay-Z. I rap about product management, and this podcast is pivoting to focus on generative AI and video AI. So I've also started a Substack. So subscribe to me at founderdesignThinking.substack.com. Over to you, Joy. I think you have an amazing founder story, and we'd love to hear, also what markable.ai does. So your
Yeah.
turn.
So thank you, and good to know that you're in the Gen AI space. So we call ourselves the Gen AI assistant for creators, because creator economy is the biggest, small business segment right now in the world. There's 50 million creators all over the world. Hey, Richard. Oh, he's one of our investors. Yeah.
Thank you,
I didn't
Richard.
know. I didn't know you're awake at this time. You're in Asia, right? Like, cool. Yeah. So basically, all of the creators, like a lot of our creators, exploded over the last few years. Like the social commerce scene in the States have exploded. And we see Instagram Shop, we see TikTok Shop entering the space. We see Temu, one of our biggest client entering the space now, and they have like already 100 million downloads, and their main marketing channel is on social media. So social commerce is being like kind of like the hit topic. I even see that, Instagram and TikTok, they've been launching different news about their own social shops competing for like the financial world's attention. so so because I think in China, like, because Jay-Z, you're also from China originally, like TikTok shop in China, which is Douyin shop, is already super popular. And then people are already having a habit of shopping on social media. And then, Instagram has their own version. I think Instagram right now, the biggest success I think in social commerce is creators selling product to Amazon, to big retailers from Instagram, while TikTok is like, focusing on native, like closed loop shopping on TikTok platform. So it's really interesting to see like an Amazon is doing Amazon live stream, with live Amazon creators. So like big retailers and big social media platform are all like putting money, investing in this field, which is a really good time for us. And but the thing is, like everything happens so fast in the literally last 2 years. Like creators are not technical. Like a lot of our creators are moms with multiple kids, and they need a lot of hand holding. So like they're exploded by all these information and don't know what to start. Like they might have a lot of followers, they have really good engaging audiences, but they don't have the right assistant, the right knowledge to equip themselves to thrive or survive too, in the scene, because a lot of the younger creators are very good with technology. They kind of jump on right away. But then the older ones are, even though their engagement and following could be 10 times, even 100 times bigger than the younger people, but they don't have the right knowledge or the right team. So basically what we did is like, instead of having these big creators who have hired their own team, like they just use our app, like Markable app, to kind of streamline the entire process from finding the right viral products using AI to putting the viral product together into a beautiful, nice collage using AI collage, to using AI to generate the right caption, to make sure their products can be even seen on the Instagram shop or TikTok shop, and then to also make sure that when their followers make a comment, they immediately get the shopping link from them, like using all of our full suites of automation to so basically the creators we work with, like two of my neighbors, really funny, like one of my neighbors is like the #1 Amazon creator, and the other neighbor is like the #1 LTK creators. A lot of creators LTK, so like they make like 7-figure just from making the commissions from selling products from Amazon and from Pottery Barn and from all these brands. But then like they don't know about any of this, so they come to me and say, Joy, how can I catch up with everything so I don't fall behind? And also, can you give me some tool that kind of streamline my entire workflow? Because like when I sit down with them and looking at their current workflow, it's like it's super tedious. It's almost like the workflow, doesn't even feel like a .com experience. It feels like a 90s experience, because like they're jumping from different softwares. They're jumping from go to Amazon to go through the top product list, or spying on their competitors to see what the competitors are, products are going viral. and then like spending hours just doing research, and then finding the product, and then making sure the product has affiliate link, and then go to a different software to convert the affiliate links into a deep link, which improve the conversion by 3 times, which I can explain later if people want to dive into what is a deep link. And then to like setting up their auto response DM bot, and to hire a system to update their website, hire a system to help them to manually create collages, which is, it's very expensive. Like each one of them, like the 2 big ones in my neighborhood, like they make 7-figure, and each one of them minimum have like 2 full-time assistants, and it's very expensive. And most of the things their assistant are doing is actually quite tedious. Like basically just like copy and paste this thing and move it here, and then making sure put it together. So all of that can be easily done by AI. So like so that's what we focus on. Like we basically analyze what are these creators' biggest pain point in their daily flow, and then help them minimize the friction of the daily workflow, and then make that into a seamless, a few seconds experience instead of hours a day.
That's amazing. So anyone who has questions, please comment them in the chat, but I'll ask a question. So let's say this video, right? I have these glasses from Zenny Optical. Richard's picture has this awesome red tie. You have this couch in the background. Are you saying that your AI would identify all these products or rank them by virality? Can you just give us an example?
Yeah, so we actually have a API integration with Instagram feed and TikTok feed. So when a creator posted a content, we automatically recommend them like, here are the products we recognize from your video, like your glasses, like the red tie or the couches, and not just any glasses, any tie. We actually match them with, the retailer's viral products. Because there might be like 50 different glasses look like this online, but some of them are mispriced and some of them have zero review. So we only match them with the product actually already viral on social media that is well priced and good reviews. A lot of people are already buying and they're well stocked. Actually, talking about well stocked, the biggest pain point for some of the creators, like affiliate creators, that like when they sell a product and then it's out of stock immediately. Especially when they sell Amazon products, right? Amazon inventory is very expensive. Like most Amazon sellers only store like a month's worth of inventory in the normal traffic. But then sometimes if a big creator is all of a sudden like the product and pick it up, they can sell out like their entire 1 month of inventory within a day, right? And then if this creator, let's say the creator sold half of it within a day, and then a couple of her competitors be like, oh, this product is good. They start selling the next day. So within a few days, you're out of the entire month of inventory. So it's actually a big problem for the creators, also a big problem for the brand, because like the creators will, basically they cannot make commissions anymore, even though they spend hours making this content. So their ROI is very limited. And then for the brands, all of a sudden their listing is out of stock and their ranking on Amazon decrease. So a lot of it is like, so we kind of minimize those friction happens by matching creators, especially creators with high traffic, with high inventory items, viral items from retailers. Yeah. So that is, so basically your question of, yes, we can recognize these products and we can recommend them something they actually will make more money off. And that's very important because we see the difference between a viral product and a not viral product. It's like they can get the same amount of clicks, but the sales can be like 10 times, 100 times difference. And the sales basically translate to income for the creators.
Wow. So you're saying even before I decide to wear these glasses or Richard decides to wear that tie, I could go into your app and see a list of what's going viral and choose those things instead of just like randomly choosing something that might not be viral right now.
Yes. And once you choose, it will automatically funnel to your comment box. So when your followers say, because on Instagram and TikTok, they actually don't let you put links, external links.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your followers say, hey, how can I shop these products? I love it. Because you can't put links on it on the caption. And then all of a sudden they will get a direct message from the creator say, here's the links for all these products. So, so it's not just, so it's like the whole flow from A to Z. And not just that, once you post this product, their website will also automatically be updated. Here are the products that just showed up in her content. So when anyone go to your website link, your bio link or your link tree, which Markable has, I would say, the more advanced link tree that shows the latest products and their all-time fan favorites products immediately shoppable on their website. So, so basically, every creator work with our software, their income is able to, their ability to sell products is able to improve 5 times.
Wow. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So continue.
So I'm a Poshmark influencer, but I think your main channel is Instagram. And I was in this Instagram thread where this influencer refused or wasn't responding to users who wanted the link to her products. And I think it was because she's just so busy, right? So you're saying it's automated.
So whenever someone make a comment, they can define the trigger keywords. Let's say shop or send me the link. How can I shop it? Like these questions, we use AI to recognize the words, and then automatically they will send them immediately within a second. Send them a response of the shopping link in the DM. Yeah. So it's actually really, really helpful because actually also kind of improve the creator's engagement rate, because before her followers may not comment much because knowing that the creator is too busy to respond, and now their followers are more likely to comment to get the shopping link, which improve their engagement rate, and everybody know that engagement rate translate into their brand campaign pricing rates, right? So they can also improve their own pricing when they work with brands as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really love that kind of automation. Why do you think shoppable content has blown up so much more in Asia? And how is the US audience different?
I think there's two major reasons. Number one is economy. So in Asia, right, like most of the big brands don't enter the second and third tier cities. They only go to the top tier cities. So, but the second and third tier city people actually has more disposable income. So when they shop, right, they actually shop online. This is the only way. Like in China, like I would say 80% of consumption is done online, right? But in the US, it's the opposite. It's like 80% offline and 20% online. But the reason the social commerce kind of exploded in the States is because, COVID kind of pushed it. COVID pushed it, everybody has to stay at home during that period, and then you can only shop online. And there's a lot of like after effects of the COVID too, like kind of like damaging the economy. For example, because not that many people are shopping offline, then the whole supply chain in the States and the whole manufacture in the States have gone down. People are not manufacturing as much. So, so yeah, there's just not enough products people can buy nowadays in your local store in the States. You kind of have to shop online if you wanted to see, a lot more options and try to find something cheaper. So yeah, so but I think US is picking up really fast. It's growing at like a 30% every year speed. And but our creators, if I can comment on our own creators, once they start using our software, they are able to sell 5 times more within a few months, right? So I think also that consumer technology in Asia is just because there's a lot more people. When there's more people, there's more money, right? And in the States, like the people, even though people's disposable income is high, but back in the day, there's more option shopping offline. And then also like culturally, the second biggest thing is culturally. I think in Asia, people kind of like, they compare themselves a lot because it's so competitive. There's so many people. They kind of differentiate themselves based on the fashion they dress, the car they have. They might not even have money to buy a house, but they will spend it on clothing and cars and accessories, right? But in the States, it's kind of like the opposite. People spend most of the money on housing, and then people care less about, how they look. Really, like even rich people dress the same as poor people. So it's so actually it's talking about this topic like the few biggest category in social commerce right now in the States. So among our creators, the highest GMV, right? The highest sale is actually from home creators. Because during COVID, everybody's like decorating their house, because decorating a house is not just a form of consumption, it's also an investment in the States, right? Like you're making your house more beautiful, you renovate it, and you can sell it at a higher price because housing market was really, really hot. So I think that was really interesting. Like our home creators was selling by far the highest GMV. Like two of my neighbors who are the top sellers for Amazon and LTK, they're both home creators.
I think that's a really great analysis. I've actually asked this question of a lot of people, and they don't really have an answer. And I think you're right. Like, the mobile penetration in Asia, and then the kind of competitiveness really drives the purchases. But then in the U.S., it's more about within your home and competing against the in-store traffic.
Yeah, US is like home and kitchen. That's so far our biggest category, and then beauty. Beauty is really big too. Um, so beauty is kind of like a category that is popular all over the world. Doesn't matter which country you're in. Everybody wants their face to look good. So even though they don't care about fashion, so it's quite interesting. Fitness is coming up, and their pets is also coming up, and obviously kids product. A lot of our in the US is very different from Asia. That US, most of our biggest creators are moms with multiple kids. When in Asia, a lot of the big celebrities, they're all single, right? They don't even talk about their kids much. Um, they're worried about maybe kids getting kidnapped. If they're rich, they hide their kids behind the screen, right? But in the States, there's so many big, mom creators that talking about mom hacks, products, for raising kids, making raising kids easier, and they sell a ton of traffic. So yeah, it's just like cultural difference, and but I like it. I kind of understand. I feel like in Asia too. I just talking about like as a woman, because we're both women. Like the school doesn't end until like 5-6 p.m., right? And there's even like night studies for the kids until 9 p.m. So the woman can easily work a full-time job, and their parents culturally are obligated to help them watch over their kids. But in the States, the grandparents not necessarily going to be your nanny. And so it's really these young women like figuring out how to become a mom of multiple kids with zero experience, right? There's a lot of information, knowledge sharing among the community, and that's how some of the mom creators become huge on social media too.
Oh, that's a really good point, because in Asia, you can always hire a nanny. Like you said, school ends really late and grandparents are always there. So then in the US, the mom is like running the show on her own.
Yeah, like exactly. I mean, there's nannies too, but it's more expensive compared to Asian nannies, right? So it's yeah, so I actually really admire all of our creators. For a lot of them are mom with multiple kids, but they are breadwinners in the family. They bring, some of them, the top ones, even bring 7-figure to the table. But I think one interesting thing I noticed, like the top ones, they're not just artists. They're also data driven, and they're scientists too. Because I think like the creators become super successful for a reason. And sometimes it's not just because they're good at creating content. They actually are really good at utilizing the technology. So I was really fortunate that I work with the top creators, happened to be in my neighborhood, and I learned from them that, what software they're using to make their sales a lot larger than another creators who have similar number of followers, similar traffic. There's actually a lot of science behind it. It's kind of like, are you using a comment bot to make sure your followers getting the answers, right? Are you updating your website with your latest product? Are you like making sure you're using deep links, so when they click on the link, it actually opens up the Amazon app and they can purchase right away? Because when you use deep link, improve sales by 3 times. When you use regular link, it opened up the product page on Amazon inside the Instagram or TikTok browser, and you have to manually log in, put in your password and everything to check out, which most people would just drop at that step. So but these creators, before I existed, talk to them, they already figured out to use these tools. But unfortunately, all these tools are very scattered and they're not user friendly and they're mostly desktop based. They don't even have a mobile version. So they have to hire a system to navigate these tools and kind of like move one thing from here to another place manually. And it's really time consuming. So basically, I learned from them and then we kind of like, okay, let's just do one app. You can do that when you're watching your kids playing basketball, just waiting on your phone. You can do that when you're in the middle of grocery shopping. Like you can do all this within a few clicks. So that's kind of like the value proposition for these top creators. And I think it's even more attractive for creators in the medium and lower tier because they don't even know about utilizing the software, these science things. They're not even aware, like this is how the top ones does it. So it's kind of like we create the app so everybody can get access to it.
Well, that's awesome because you've listened to your users and you've pivoted, and it sounds like you're doing a lot of beta testing with users. So can you share a little bit about like how much time you spend with users before the pivot and now?
Oh yeah, a lot of time. I personally visited the creator's house multiple times. I even bring samples, physical samples to their house to kind of understand how the whole flow. And we have to have lunch and dinner to build trust. So they willing to share the data with us because the creators think their data very private. But the data is very important for us to actually begin to understand why some feature helps, some feature doesn't. Like what feature will actually make a difference in their sales. So all these things was like through really in-depth like friendship building and then a lot of hand holding too. With the creators, once we build a beta, and then we had to show them how to use it, and then we understand, okay, this part can be more user friendly. How can we make it even easier for them? Like just watching how they use it. So I would say like I used to, before I did the pivot, I was mostly focusing on a sexy technology, and then one of the technologies just kind of like implemented directly was big social media platform. That's how kind of like just focus on technology and let it explode on its own once it's integrated. And now I have a complete different philosophy now. Like now I'm more focusing on my customers. What is their pain point? How are they using my solution? Is my solution good enough? Like I'm like deep in the nitty gritty, but these are actually makes a huge difference. I actually see a lot of other products out there that has the potential to be helpful, but they're not because they're not really seeing how their customers are actually using it. So I think, and I used to spend a lot of time on this, but I was very fortunate. I recently hired a new chief of product. Her name is Taylor, and she is now like kind of, I would say, my better half at the product. So she's now taking over like the whole interviewing our customers and gathering feedback and polishing the product, setting up the priorities. So I can kind of like focusing more on the bigger picture. Now we have a decent amount of size of creator users, and now our creators actually totally have 65 million followers. If you think about that, it's almost like 1/6 of U.S. population, right? So we're getting there. Mm-hmm.
Wow. How do you feel about delegating product? Because in the beginning, the founder usually holds on to product for a while. So what was that like?
Yeah, it was, I think if you have the right team, like if the teammates have a strong product sense, it's pretty straightforward to them. I have tried to convert my head of technical person, try to be my head of product. It doesn't work because a product, it's almost DNA. Like do they have the product sense? They either have it or they don't. Like it's kind of like they either can can see it from the customer's perspective, can sense it in a customer's way, or they don't. And but it's not, it's not just DNA, it's also muscle. They have to build, from ears as well. Like the savvy product person from the beginning product person, maybe they have the same sense, but the savvy product person are better at setting up priorities, right? To knowing like what product need to be implemented first that can bring the most revenue or solve the biggest problem. So so I think, but the product is like, I think the product has to work really closely with the marketing side, because marketing is kind of like the bread and butter to bring more customers. And sometimes, like, a new product release can trigger a new marketing campaign. And so now, like, so now I have the product team and the sales marketing team work super closely. So like whenever we have a new tweaks and when we solve a new problem for the creators, or when we improve the product, we also like do a little mini marketing campaign and to get more awareness.
Yeah, I love when marketing and product are brainstorming and design thinking early, understanding the same changes in user behavior, not one sequential or one after the other. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, and then to answer your question, I just cannot pull myself fully out of the product also, like, because it's kind of like, I can say like I can imagine myself like retired from the parent to the grandparents. You know what I mean? Like, so instead of like micromanaging products, I'm more like taking a backseat and seeing if the current product decision are made or make sense, or should we adjust it. But I'm not the one making product decisions anymore. I give feedback on product decisions. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a big step, right?
It's a big step, but with the right team, it's a very saved me a lot of time to do other things. So yeah, and I would say like I only hire people who are better than me in some space. Taylor is it's amazing product lead right now. But product is a very complex process. Sometimes it's not like a one man show. Like sometimes it requires multiple product teammates, and because we have so many features, you'll be surprised that we are releasing a new feature almost every day.
I love it. That's so exciting. Well, I think we're going to end soon. So anyone in the audience, please comment your question. But my last question will be about the perception of AI. So I'm testing a lot of products, and when customers hear time saving, they're like, great. But if they hear AI, they're like, oh, that's not me. Like, it's going to post something that I would never have posted. So I was just curious, from your knowledge of US creators, do they want to see the word AI on a product or no?
They want to see the word AI assistant.
Okay.
But they don't want AI to make decisions on what the end content posted to their followers. We had the comment bot where we auto response the link that creators set in the app. But when we ask the creators, can we add more AI element to the comment bot, to the auto response? Like, for example, even have a short conversation with your followers, things like that. And creators will say no, because they feel like they can't fully control the results which the AI is representing them. So they will never let AI to represent them, but they will use AI to streamline their tedious workflow, which is what AI is good at. So that's what we focus on. We don't let AI to take the front, the driver's seat. We let AI to take the back seat and to like give the creators what they need to have them, make the final decision on what they post, what they say. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what can we all do to help? What is the thing that you're looking for your audience to do?
Yeah, like we're, in the middle of like internal investor round right now. So, but we also allow external investor to participate. And this round has really, really good favorable terms. Like I can't even imagine I actually said yes to the terms, but it's a term that allow us to flourish down the road. So, so if interested investors, they can email me at I'll put my email, like you can send my email to people, joy@markable.ai. And
Okay. I'll put it in.
thank you. Yeah, and I would also love to collaborate with other creator networks, creator agencies, other creator software that are complementary with me. So I think that would be, an instant synergy. We can do creator sharing. We also have a large amount of creator base. We can potentially do collaborations for, creator companies that we see that have a strong synergy with.
And Richard, I'm going to read your comment out. So Joy, I love the pivot to working harder to understand the customer business model, the pain points, and identifying why some features work and some do not.
Yay. Thank you, Richard. And you're in Vancouver. So I'm in Seattle. We're not too far away.
And he's saying having a tech head who is customer friendly is a super asset.
It is. It saved me a lot of time. Like a tech person who understands product. Also, it's a game changer. Yeah. So because then I don't have to be the middleman between product and tech anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of founders, they don't have access to that kind of talent, or it's hard for them to focus on being a founder or, giving up a lot of that responsibility. So I'm sure there's a lot of growth involved in that.
It's hard. And sometimes the right person is expensive. Might shorten your runway. For founders, it's always a complex decision, but I would say that, so far the decisions I made on the top talents has been well worth it. Because I also have to value my own time too. Like if I'm spending my time at the right part, that then the company can also grow a lot faster. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're highly investable, so I hope everyone will get in touch with you. And any last comments? I think we're good. All right. So I'll just do my outro. Everyone, subscribe to Founder Design Thinking, substack.com. And I look forward to posting a short reel from this chat. We're going to end the live stream now, but Joy, stay on and we'll figure out which reel AI or you and I can choose.
Sure.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.